You have heard about Bubble, then you're wondering if it's the right no-code tool to build your app or your website. In this video, we'll go over how Bubble works, how easy is it to learn, and how much it costs to help you decide if Bubble is the right tool for you. So let's get started. Okay, so to make an app or a website with Bubble, there's three main blocks. The first block is the data. So this is where all the data is stored, and this is where you can store your app's information. So let's say we want to have a type. Let's create a new data type. We're going to call this, I don't know, colors. I'm just like entering random stuff. Okay, and so type colors is going to have a name field. Okay, so now we are creating this type. So let's move on to the next block, is the design. So now that we have a database, well, we have to put stuff in there, and we have to allow the user to put stuff in there. So let's go ahead and create, let's say, an input and a button. So this is the design part where you can add elements to allow your user to interact with your website. So you are completely free of how you style your elements. You can change the width, you can change the color. Let's go ahead and change the color. Let's make this a beautiful pink. Okay, so you have complete freedom over the design of your app, and this is really one of the strengths of Bubble. Once you have your elements, once you design your app, you have to define actions that the user can take on your website. So what we are going to do is we are going to say, okay, when someone types in a name here, we are going to add it to the color type. And to do this, this is the third important block, the workflow. So if we click here we can define actions and what happens when user interact with your website or your app. So what we're going to say is when button A is clicked, I want to create a new thing. A new thing is going to be, well, the colors we defined, and we are going to, so the name of this color is going to be input A's value. Okay, so and now let me just show you how it works. We are going to preview the website. Okay, so we are previewing the website. Let's write anything here. My favorite color is purple, so here we go, purple. Let's add it here. And now we can go back to the data tab and see the app data. And there we go, we have a color. So as you can see in our example, our site is very, very basic, but you can really build any type of website with Bubble. For example, this is one site I made to help people organize their playlist. I have a tutorial on it. I will put it somewhere on the screen, and you can make blogs. This is a template in the template marketplace. You can also build e-commerce store and even web apps. So Bubble is very versatile, and if you really take some time to learn it, you can really build anything you want. Okay, now you're probably wondering, that sounds great, but how do I actually start learning Bubble? So, first you have the Bubble lessons. So these will pop up when you open the app. As you can see, I'm a bad student because I've only taken 3 of them, but it can be a great way to start discovering Bubble's different features and see what you can do with it. Then you have websites such as MakerPad with a lot of tutorials on very specific stuff you can do with Bubble. For example, Bubble clone, News clone, or Airbnb clone, and watching those tutorials will also be a great way to get started. Now, MakerPad is freemium. You have some free tutorials and other that I paid. But if you don't want to pay, you can always head to YouTube. This is one of my favorite channels to learn coaching no code apps, but there's thousands of them, and you should be able to find a tutorial for anything you need. Then if you have more specific questions, the forum is the place to go to. I've been to the forum several times, asked my question, and there's always someone to answer. So this is one of the main advantages of Bubble, is that the community is very active, the forum is very active, and people are creating new tools and new plugins, as you can see, every time. So you won't be alone if you decide to create your app with Bubble, and you will have plenty of free support. And then if you feel like you can splurge and you really want to get into it, you can also buy a paid course. So Bubble offers some boot camps. As you can see, it's not cheap, but this can be a good idea for you if you really want to build your app fast and you need the support. And so one other question people have when I discuss Bubble is how advanced it really is. Like, can I really do what I want with it? And the answer is basically yes. So as you can see, Bubble works a little bit like WordPress, where you have a plugins library and you can download plugins to extend your app. For example, here are the plugins I use in one of my apps. So here I have the API connector. This is a plugin made by Bubble, and it allows you to connect to APIs. So I use it to connect to the Spotify API. Here I have the Google Analytics one, the Hotjar one, and one to add a personalized search bar. So let me show you how it looks like on other sites. For example, on this website, they use plugin for cookies. So this is a website built with Bubble, obviously. And this is just one example of how you can use plugins and coding to take your Bubble app to the next level. Now, because Bubble is so advanced, it does have quite a steep learning curve. It's not as easy as websites such as Squarespace or even WordPress if you used those before, but I think it's worth it because then if you take just a little bit of time to learn how Bubble works, you can basically build any app you want or any website you want. Okay, and to finish, now let's talk money. So to start working with Bubble, you do not need to pay because they have a free plan that allows you to start designing your app and creating your app. Now, if you want to use a custom domain, you will need to pay. So the first plan is $25 a month, or if you take the annual plan, or $29 a month on the monthly plan. And also getting a professional production plan will give you access to advanced functionality such as the backend workflows. But all in all, you don't need to worry about pricing when you start using Bubble. You can just start, try it, see if you like it, and then if you decide to build your projects with it, then you can consider paying for a personal or a professional client. One thing to be aware of though is that pricing is per application as explained here. So for example, if you create 5 sites with Bubble, you will need to pay 5 plans. So this is something to keep in mind for how you're going to actually use Bubble. Well, that's it for today. I hope that this video will be helpful. If you want to dig deeper, I have a video where I film myself making an entire site with Bubble. You can check this out, or I will also include useful resources in the description box. So thanks for watching and see you in the next video.